The president confirmed once again he's not one for observing traditional alliances or diplomatic niceties.
Talks with Putin, and I've had not such good talks with Ukraine.
In which President Trump has accused the Ukrainian leader of both starting the war against Russia and of being a dictator.
Trump just called Keir Starmer a very nice guy who's done nothing on Ukraine. It's a mind-bending contradiction that's left political analysts scratching their heads. But here's the kicker. Trump's not the only one taking shots at European leaders. We've got the inside scoop on why even Elon Musk is joining the chorus of critics. Stick around to find out who else is in the firing line and what it means for the future of Ukraine. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favour. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Trump's recent comments about Keir Starmer have left political analysts scratching their heads.
For the past week, the Prime Minister has been treading a careful line over Ukraine between supporting President Zelensky and...
It came just hours after a radio show in which Donald Trump broadened his criticism to include two key allies.
In a Fox News interview, the former US president unleashed a scathing critique of the UK Labour leader, claiming he's done nothing to help end the war in Ukraine. But here's where it gets interesting. In the same breath, Trump described Starmer as a very nice guy. Talk about mixed messages. So what's really going on here? Is Trump playing 4D chess, or is this just another example of his shoot-from-the-hip communication style? Let's dig a bit deeper. First, let's consider the timing. Trump's remarks come just days before Starmer is set to jet off to Washington for a high-stakes visit. Coincidence? Not likely.
Not aggravating a seemingly contrary President Trump. His efforts with Mr. Trump were firmly rebuffed today as...
But we're not going to let this continue. This war is terrible.
This smacks of a calculated move to throw Starmer off his game before he even sets foot on American soil. It's classic Trump, keeping his opponents guessing and off balance. But there's more to this than just political gamesmanship. Trump's critique of Starmer fits into a broader pattern of frustration with European leaders' contributions to the Ukraine conflict. He's not just singling out the Labour leader, he's taking aim at what he sees as a wider problem of inaction and ineffective leadership. Interestingly, Trump's comments about Starmer echo his criticisms of Ukrainian President Zelensky. He's expressed frustration with Zelensky's negotiating tactics, suggesting that European leaders, in general, aren't doing enough to resolve the conflict. It's as if Trump is positioning himself as the tough-talking outsider who could swoop in and sort out this mess if only given the chance.
The president confirmed once again he's not one for observing traditional alliances or diplomatic niceties.
Talks with Putin, and I've had not such good talks with Ukraine.
But let's not forget that puzzling nice guy comment. Why throw that in there? It's possible Trump is trying to have his cake and eat it too. By acknowledging Starmer's personal likability, he's attempting to appear fair and balanced. It's a classic tactic. Soften the blow of harsh criticism with a dash of praise. This way, Trump can maintain the image of a straight-talking, no-nonsense leader without coming across as a complete bully. There's also the possibility that Trump is playing to multiple audiences here. His core supporters will latch onto the done-nothing criticism, while more moderate voters might appreciate the acknowledgement of Starmer's positive qualities. It's a delicate balancing act, but one that Trump has proven adept at performing. Trump's criticism of Starmer isn't happening in a vacuum. A surprising alliance of influential figures.
No, nothing, he said. Not what either would want to hear as both prepare for trips to the White House next week. Trump picked a fight with Sir Keir Starmer and the French President Emmanuel Macron. He accused them of doing nothing to end the war.
He's joining the chorus of critics, and their target list is expanding. Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur known for his outspoken nature, has recently thrown his hat into the ring with explosive allegations against Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Musk's social media storm has sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles. He's accused Zelensky of running a massive graft machine that exploits the deaths of Ukrainian soldiers. But Musk didn't stop there. He went on to claim, without providing evidence, that Zelensky had seized control of all Ukrainian media and cancelled elections to prevent losing in a landslide. Sound familiar? It should.
In which President Trump has accused the Ukrainian leader of both starting the war against Russia and of being a dictator. Kyiv last month pledging his support and has since offered British troops as part of a potential future peacekeeping force in Ukraine.
Musk's allegations align eerily well with Trump's narrative questioning Zelensky's leadership. It's as if they're reading from the same playbook. But why are these tech moguls and former presidents suddenly so interested in Ukrainian politics? The fallout from these high-profile criticisms could be severe. Public perception of Ukraine's leadership is at stake, and with it, the overall support for Ukraine in the international community. As world leaders navigate these choppy diplomatic waters, they'll have to contend with the ripple effects of Musk and Trump's words. But not everyone's buying what Trump and Musk are selling. Keir Starmer, the target of Trump's initial attack, has emphasised the need for unity and support for Ukraine's democratically elected leadership. He's even gone as far as to defend Zelensky's decision to suspend elections during wartime, pointing out that it's not unprecedented. After all, the UK did the same thing during World War II. A Downing Street spokesperson has doubled down on Starmer's stance, reiterating his commitment to US-led peace efforts. But will this be enough to counter the narrative being spun by Trump and Musk? The real question is, what's the endgame here? Are these criticisms part of a coordinated effort to undermine support for Ukraine? Or are they just attention-seeking moves by public figures, known for their controversial statements? As we look ahead to upcoming diplomatic meetings and negotiations, the impact of these criticisms can't be ignored. They're likely to cast a long shadow over discussions, potentially influencing how other leaders view Ukraine's current leadership and its effectiveness in the ongoing conflict. As world leaders gear up for crucial meetings, Trump's verbal salvo against Starmer has thrown a spanner in the works of UK-US relations. This isn't just about two politicians trading barbs, it's a chess game with global implications. Trump's critique of Starmer's supposed inaction on Ukraine may well reshape the Labour leader's upcoming discussions with US officials. Trade deals, diplomatic ties, and the future of Western support for Ukraine are all potentially on the line. But let's not kid ourselves. This isn't just about Ukraine. Trump's seemingly contradictory statements about Starmer being both ineffective and a very nice guy reveal a calculated political strategy. It's classic Trump, keeping everyone guessing, appealing to different voter bases and dominating headlines. As Starmer prepares to navigate this minefield in Washington, he'll need to prove he's more than just a nice guy in the realm of international politics. The real question is, will these verbal skirmishes actually influence policy, or are they just political theatre? Only time will tell.